Welcome to our channel. We hope you enjoy our narrated stories. Beep, beep, beep. I awake to a familiar sound and a familiar sight. A messy room lit up with the light from sunrise and a fucking annoying alarm that won't shut up. Beep, beep, click. I turn it off and look at the time. Shit, I'm gonna be late. I immediately got up, got dressed in a button-up shirt, denim jeans, and sneakers, then bolted out the door as fast as my feet could carry me. I ran to my car. Shit, I forgot my fucking keys. Are you kidding me? I ran back to my apartment and made sure to lock the door and back to the car. I hopped in and started the car. My lungs were on fire, head pounding, but I was alive and on my way to work. I sped into the parking lot of Theo's Tech Services and parked next to Sherry. She's usually a good sport, even if I do a shitty job parking next to her car. I sprinted toward the door and scanned my card, then ran inside. Hey, Mary. Mary. Hey, Kiara. I ran to the elevator and took it to my floor and ran straight to my booth where, shit. Mary, you're late. Yeah, I know, Theo. I just get to work. Theo said begrudgingly as he walked away. See, had fun last night? Hey, Doe. You sleep well. Or did you sleep well? I slept all right. I just didn't wake up well. Doe, leave her be. You know how she is in the morning while dealing with a hangover. Fine, thanks. Thanks, I said as Doe walked away. So, another night at the bar, huh? What? Just having some fun. I tried to do a goofy gesture, but stopped when I noticed Sherry's expression dropped. Have you looked into the therapist list I sent you? Sherry, please, I'm fine. I don't need therapy, don't have the time nor money for it. If you say so, she says while rolling her eyes and walking away. Oh, one more thing? Button up your shirt. Fuck, that is embarrassing. I did not notice that. The day goes by, I answer tech support questions in my booth until 5 in the afternoon, after which I leave and head to Andy's, a local bar down the street. Hey, therapy? I wish Sherry would just shut up about it already. I do not need to pay someone to sit and have a one-way conversation with me. Give me 2 margaritas and about 3 shots of Jack Daniels. Drinking hard again, huh? Don't worry about it. And so I started drinking. I started with the 3 shots and then the margaritas, but as I was halfway through one, a man came. Well, aren't you a pretty thing? What are you doing all alone on a night like this? Mind if I pay for your drinks? Sorry, not interested. I could tell from his face he was going to be trouble and I was already buzzed, so I decided to give up on more drinks. Hey, Lee, give me the bill, time to leave. Lee nodded and gave me the bill. I paid it and left. Hey, I turned to see the man from the bar running toward me then. Whack. I wake up freezing cold, but naked in a tub full of ice. I couldn't even move. The only thing I could do was stand there frozen. Finally, I decided to get out and look around to see what happened to me. I happened upon a mirror and noticed dried blood on top of a crude stitch. Feet numb. I looked around for a weapon but ended up putting a whole bunch of ice in one of the plastic bags under the sink. I slowly opened the door to see an empty hotel room. I searched for my clothes, but couldn't find them. Finally, I decided to put on some sheets and left the hotel room and knocked on the door next to me as hard as I could. It opened to a stunned face, but luckily they were patient enough to listen to me. I was brought into the station where I recounted what happened. It wasn't until I called Sherry that I started to fall apart and finally cry. I called Sherry and she came and drove me home. The car was dead silent. I didn't want to talk, and I guess Sherry could tell, which is why she didn't say anything. I got home and Sherry helped me into my apartment and then my bed. She even asked if I wanted her to spend the night. I told her no, didn't want to burden her any further. When she left, I immediately tried to sleep, but I couldn't sleep, not a wink. I had to do something to calm my nerves. I feel like I'm going crazy. So I went for the only thing I could think of to calm me down, a nice cold glass of hard liquor. I poured 1 cup, but as I thought it wasn't enough, so I poured another cup, then another, then another. Eventually, I downed the whole cup. Usually, I'm pretty conscious about how many drinks I've had. This time was different. I didn't notice the bottle was empty until no liquor came out. I tried to go back to sleep but couldn't, so I got back up and got dressed. There were only 10, maybe a bar somewhere was still open. I was about to leave until I stopped. It was almost as if every fiber in my body didn't want to go back outside. Even my hands and knees were shaking the more I moved toward the door. In the end, I chose not to go back out. I went to bed and stared at the ceiling until morning came. I wanted to go back to work, but I couldn't. I called out, of course. Theo yelled at me as usual. I hung up on. I stayed in my house for about 3 more days, just existing, watching TV, and I barely ate. I didn't understand what was wrong with me. I just felt empty, nothing on the piqued my interest. Then it happened. I think on the night of the 3rd day, I went to my usual spot fully dressed and even had my face covered. Andy saw me, but I don't know whether he knew it was me under there or night. I asked for 3 bottles of Hennessy, 2 bottles of Jack Daniels, and 1 bottle of Smirnoff. Enough to last me until the end of time, I thought. I was standing there waiting quietly until a man came out of nowhere. Hey, my name's Jack. Sorry, not interested. I said, shaking. I honestly almost screamed when surprised me. Oh, my apologies. Don't worry about it. Here you are. Miss, will that be cash or card? Cash, please. I handed the cash, grabbed my bag of alcohol, and bolted out of there like a bat out of hell. Hey, miss. I heard a voice come from behind, man's voice then. I blacked out. I remember screaming, "Stay back," as loud as I could. Then he was on the floor, his head bleeding. I ran from the scene as fast as my legs could carry me. I left my car and just ran back to my apartment. I closed the door behind me and just cried into my arms for what felt like hours. Then I decided to give Sherry a call. Hey, Sherry, can you send me that list of therapists again? Sure. And that's how I got here, talking to you. The end. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe our channel for more stories.